Stacy and I just got back from Salt Lake, and as cold as winter is in Salt Lake, welcome back to Illinois and Iowa, right? So yeah, I agree with you. We could use a little bit of this.
And as cold as it is right now, it's actually warm for this time of year right now.
I know. And Salt Lake was not like warm for Iowa temperatures, like but it felt so warm because it's been so cold here. So
yeah, and they have sunshine. They have sunshine while it's cold.
Sunshine, and also I think the dryness. They always say, oh, the
True.
dryness in the summer makes that heat not so bad, but really that's what they said about some winter too. It just didn't feel. And we were just so glad to be there that it didn't matter if it was cold or not, but it was kind of cold to come home to, like, the teens. All right.
Absolutely.
It is, wow, 10 o'clock. Good morning, friendly faces. What oils are you putting on today? Hi, Lori. There she is. Hey.
I just got in the car. There's Mama.
Can you hook me?
Yep, I sure can, Mama. Sorry.
Well, as we're getting everybody in here, I'm doing transformation, and this is an old bottle, but I'm going to suggest you grab an oil that's motivation or clarity. What else can we do?
What are you using, Amanda? What did you say?
Well, transformation.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's a really good one for the brain.
I'm using inspiration.
Inspiration. That's a beautiful oil.
I love that. Transformation is beautiful. I've got my bottle of Believe.
Believe.
Yeah, because you got to believe this if you're going to win.
I pulled out my my special bottle of Sacred Angel.
Ooh, that might be worth going to the show for. All right. We're recording already, and it is 10:01. So let's go ahead and we're going to kick us off. I am super excited to be here with you all, and just look at all these fun faces already, and to be sharing about this challenge. And I think the reason that I am so dedicated to this challenge is because this challenge is for everybody. And Stacy and I were talking about I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago. And I said, it's just one of those things where the normal people can do it. And so we've got a lot of experts on here today who've already done this challenge maybe more than once. And we're gonna hear from them in just a little bit, but we're gonna walk through a little bit about the Kona challenge. And we're gonna leave you here today with not just, what it is, but maybe how you'll be with this there. All right. So as we walk through this, I am super excited to be co-hosting with Stacy McDonald, who has put together this beautiful presentation. And not only that, you'll have the recording from this. We'll be having some additional meetings, and we have a resource Google Drive for you already. So we are here to partner with you for the duration of this time period. You can see right there, the duration is January 1st. So it's already started through June 30th. And one of the things that I think I love the most about this challenge is that there are prizes for everybody. Now, Stacy, you may not remember this, but the first time you went to Hawaii, I didn't know about building or what Hawaii was, but we all got a little something in the mail. Do you remember, like, certain prizes got something in the mail, and it blew my mind. I had no idea I was trying for anything. And then Stacy shows up and she's in Hawaii, and we know what I mean? Like, they sent us something. And so every single contest that Young Living has done, I have worked at whatever point I was in my journey to gather some prizes together. So we're going to talk about those today, whether it's the big trip in Hawaii, and that's your goal. And we're going to talk about that. A year's worth of Ninja Red. Did anybody who's on the chat right now win a year's worth of Ninja Red 3 years ago? Put that in the chat box. And then this year, there's Thieves for a Year. I love that. Thieves for a Year. And then oils. And every single person, sorry, I need to move my comments out of the way. Every single person can be in this for the oils. And so we're going to rack up the points, and this contest has already started. So some of you are already part of the way towards your first level of prize. All right, so I pulled out, this is just one of our boxes that we have with all of my oils from a cute little set we got a couple years ago. I just love this box. We have another box. My son appropriated it with glass on the front. We have another, the bag. Abigail's talking about the bath salt kit. These prizes are amazing and every single person can earn them. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm not a big enroller. This earned 20, you earn highest potential, Palo Santo, Peace and Calming, and a bamboo case. First off, Peace and Calming 15 mil. That's my gateway oil, so I love it. If you enroll one person from January to June, actually, if you skip January because it's the 10th and you think your month is over, even though it's not, January 10th to the end of June, if you enroll one person on loyalty rewards every single month, you will qualify for this Earn 20. So does everybody think that they can enroll one person per month for the next 6 months? And you will be there with this prize, Earn 20, and you'll get the bamboo case. And then how much easier that in 2 of these months, you could enroll 2 people. It is, Stacy, you can chime in on that. You're using exclamation points like they're going out of style, but 30 points adds Dreamcatcher in a 15 mil and Valor in a 15 mil.
I mean, this contains some really precious oils, highly sought after oils that sometimes, some of these I didn't get until I had been with Young Living for a few years because I put it in my, special occasion oil, kind of like sandalwood and jasmine and Melissa. So all of these things, and this is doable. This is something everybody can do. These are achievement prizes.
They really are. And every person who thinks to themselves, I can share Young Living, even casually, this first level is worth approximately $250. You're going to get the paycheck. You're going to be helping your friends get started with oils. And then next level, you're going to be getting all of these oils. And look at Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood is not highlighted with the orange down on the bottom, so I missed it. But this is literally one of my absolute most favorite oils. And when you go to Hawaii, and this to me is like dream board worthy, you get to go to the farm where they harvest this and be a part of that. So, and at the 40 point level, like Stacy was saying, you add neroli. Boy, that's one that just calms my heart sometimes. Sacred frankincense, Melissa, and jasmine. And it actually was a Young Living contest that helped me get some of these very precious oils for the first time ever. Most of you know that I've got a big family, and I've always kind of put my money for my oils into very practical things like my children and some supplements or some oils that were making a difference in their life every single day. Yeah.
Sorry.
Added in at 30. So it's just not highlighted with the 30s. But these precious oils are oils that I had thought were outside my budget. So to win them for free was so much more. So I'll close my little box. And we're getting a bamboo oil case. So that'll be really fun. Anybody else who's earned all of these oils before or earned parts of them want to chime in the box of what their favorite oil was that they've ever earned for free from Young Living? I think that would be really fun.
I am pretty sure that the Drive to Win, when I was there for Drive to Win, I'm pretty sure that's when I got my first bottle of Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood. I think that was the first year. And so
I think so too, because it was kind of a new.
I'm pretty sure I still have the bottle somewhere because it was commemorative and said Drive to Win on it.
Yes. And that's actually one of my favorite parts. Is like when you get there, all of the oils that you get on that trip are labeled for your trip. So they are precious for that manner. And so I think that is so exciting that every single person here, neroli was top of your wish list. So fun to win free. And actually for me, jasmine, in addition to some of these other ones, jasmine was another one. Oh, Lori's nodding. 15 mil Valor. Yes. Loving the smell. I would love to see, if you're watching and you want to take a screenshot of this, you go ahead, because these are every single person's first goal. Okay. So we're going to leave that up for one more second. And I'm going to flip the slide. Sacred Sandalwood. Love that, Janelle. All right. And then we move up to those prizes we talked about a little bit ago, where you can get a year's worth of supply of thieves if you rank in the top 1,000 people in Young Living, and you can get a year's worth of supply of Ninja Red if you rank from 301 to the 600th spot. All right. And this is huge. I'm going to just tell kind of a funny story. Yes, Janelle always tells me we earn these. We earn these, and we also earn other things along the way, our checks, but they are kind of bonuses. So we're going to be earning these together. That year's supply of Ninja Red is one of my favorite thoughts. Just to know that every single day you wake up and you get to have exactly what you need. Or how about thieves for your family? We have a different shot right after the Hawaii where you're going to grab a screenshot of the ranks so that you guys have it. Okay, I would love to see this picture of this. Eyes of your son when all that Ninja came at one time. That I would love to see because my kids think when I buy an 8-pack, they're like, oh, there's Ninja, like they're going to just drink it right out of the bottle. I'm like, no, not yet. All right. So let's talk about Hawaii. And then we're going to hear from some of our people who have gotten to go to Hawaii. So there are 3 tiers of trips for the Hawaii trip. And as you can see here, you earn a little bit more on each tier. So your first, if Hawaii is your first goal, you're going to want to get that 300th spot in the company to qualify. Now they'll pay for the plane trip for one, the winner. Now, some of you will, most people will probably want to bring a guest. And so you would pay for your own plane ticket for that second person. And you get your room at the resort. And many of you were at this resort with us right before the world shut down in 2020. And this resort is beautiful and gorgeous. And I was telling Stacy last night, I was right by the dolphins. And then there's all of these rolling pools and there's restaurants and it was just beautiful. So flight for the one, room at the resort, and then the excursion, and you get to choose from your excursions. And so if you've already been to Hawaii, we're not going to spend a ton of time today talking about excursions, but put in the comments what your excursion was that you got. If you've been to Hawaii and done an excursion, tell us what you did, because that's the absolute neatest thing. Now, see if you get to the 100th spot, they'll pay for your plane ticket for both of you. And isn't that fun? It just makes it a little bit easier to just really enjoy snorkeling. Awesome. Whale watching. I went whale watching. Brian went in the helicopter around the island. Okay. And then if you are in the top tier, spots 1 through 25, you will be also getting a VIP treatment. And I will tell you, I have frequently looked at that and I love it. So look at whales while snorkeling. Crystal, that's just amazing. Well, now what we're going to do is put this up so you can see that entire list in order from where you start qualifying for more than oils. Remember, we're all going to get free oils, every single one of us. Baseline, we know we're going to go there. Rank 601 to 1000. So screenshot this if you would like. Also, we'll have it in the Google Drive later.
And the name of the resort is right there too. So you can write that name down and Google it so you can see the pictures of the resort. It's just gorgeous. I mean, we have some here, but you can look into more detail and see the property.
Yeah, so actually, and the waterfall, and then there's actually when you walk through under the waterfall, sometimes you get misted on. Did anybody else under the falls? That was just one of my favorite places to go.
And Amanda, didn't it, the whole island just smell amazing? I don't know if it was the ocean breeze or what it was, but it literally, the island had a smell to me.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have to tell you, Crystal was nodding right before she stepped out of the picture. I thought that was me in my head until you said this right now.
No, that's why we rented a convertible. And
yes,
that was the biggest reason. It was like, I want to be able to smell this when we're driving around.
And think of it, how funny is this? We did get to go out in the convertible. Some of us, Thompsons, went to the coffee place. So the coffee smelled amazing and it was so great. And everywhere you went, it smelled so good. I thought it was me just being happy to be out of Iowa. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, and I just love that smell. So it smells like pineapples. You can do the pineapples. You can do there's shops. Yeah. The food is amazing. We'll get there in the memories. Okay,
and
did everybody get a
flowers
screenshot?
Everywhere?
The flowers. That's probably what makes it smell so gorgeous.
Probably.
And the water. Did everybody get a screenshot of this that wanted one? because we are going to move on. And I'm going to tell you, Young Living will have a tracker where you're going to see your place within that top 1,000. They'll have that online where you can go find your points and follow it along, and also then where you are within that line. All right, so we're going to talk about how to earn points right here. I've got to wiggle it just a little bit. Hang on. Because I wiggled it at the bottom. Apparently I cut it too close. Okay. This is how you're going to earn your points. And we're going to talk through, like, this is the house. We're going to talk about, like, what's that look like for you towards the end of the call today, because we're going to leave you with a plan. But you're going to enroll, when you enroll or reactivate somebody with a 100 PV order, and yes, reactivation, if they've been inactive for 2 years, they count as brand new for you, just like commissions. Then you get a point. And when you help them get started on loyalty rewards, which is obviously the best goal anyway. So 100 PV order of any type, but keep in mind our bundles are still the best value, and you're also going to get the extra commission from that, the bonus for that. So when you start them on loyalty rewards, if you have somebody get started and they're on loyalty rewards, you're going to get a combination of 4 points right from the get-go. So 3 points, you maybe have people you've enrolled who haven't been on loyalty rewards or essential rewards. That's the way Canada's still phrasing this. So it's loyalty in the US, essential rewards for Canada. So those 3 points are so valuable. So you can start looking back into your organization for people who are not on. And remember our great new bonus, where if they're on month 2 of loyalty rewards, they're getting that free diffuser at 100 PV. So it's at 50 PV, but if they're on, that month 2, if they start at 100 PV for the month 1 for you to get the points, and month 2, they're still on loyalty at 50 PV, they're getting that free diffuser here in the United States and Canada. Okay. Also, if you rank up, and we're getting some clarification on this, but you get 5 points when you rank up. So won't that be amazing? Each rank you personally achieve. And when you help your personally enrolled brand partners rank up, you also get 5 points. And I'm going to tell you a little thing that Stacy taught me. Oh, are you? She's wearing her beautiful lei. So excited for this next part. So one of the reasons you'll keep your personal enrollments and not share that enrollment number, even if you may place them in your organization, is for contests like this, where you're going to help them achieve their next goal and you'll get those points. So that's all right. I am super excited to pass this over to Stacy. Stacy, we're going to hear from some of our past winners, and look at all those happy people who can be unhappy in Hawaii. So Stacy, go ahead and introduce us.
Yeah. So when I won Drive to Win back in 2013, I was just busy enrolling, as because I was just sharing. I was doing it naturally. I wasn't actually trying to win the contest. And it was one of our members, I can't remember who it was, that posted in the Common Sense group and said, "Oh, did you see how close you are to winning?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I hadn't even really thought about that." And at the time, I don't know what I had this picture of Hawaii being, but I thought it was going to be super commercial and super crowded. And I thought, I'm not even sure that I want to go. I was literally just doing what I love doing, which was talking about the oils. So that was my thing. I wasn't trying to win. But the closer that we got, my husband got really excited about it. And we started talking to people who had been to Hawaii and getting a few testimonies. And Abigail says she remembers. I was like, oh, I didn't want to leave the babies. And I didn't really understand what it was going to be like. And so eventually we decided to go ahead, and once we won, decided to go ahead and go. And it was amazing and relaxing and not at all what I expected. So I think for me, that was the first real taste of how Young Living honors and blesses their leaders and their winners, and just try to really validate the hard work that you do. And I was just blown away. I remember the first morning breakfast that was scheduled outside, and they passed around different swag things, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's for me. and I just kept, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I just was so, I wasn't used to that. I felt very spoiled and lavished, and it was so neat. And just the whole, getting to mingle with other members, because I hadn't experienced a lot of that either. I didn't even go to convention until we hit platinum. So it was, for me, getting to mingle with the other people and connect with other people who are passionate about the same things I was passionate about, made a whole big difference in being part of Young Living for me. That's when we started to realize, okay, there's other people that are weird like us and think the way we do. And, you know, getting to hear what other people's stories were, that was really special. But that, I mean, it was a game changer for me, because when I came back, I started to really feel like, okay, there's these accomplishments that we really can achieve. And so I encourage everybody to shoot for this. It's an experience that you will remember for the rest of your life, and that you'll want your leaders to experience. And more than anything, more than going again, I want you to go, because I really, really want you to experience what we did.
I love that part. Like, that's my goal too. And how special is it to be in Hawaii with some of your team, or to see people that you love and care about get to earn this amazing trip. And one of the things that's always been meaningful for Brian and I is it is kind of that little couples getaway. These, whether it's a ranked trip from Young Living, because some of you will hit a new rank for this, or it's a prize trip, these are precious memories. And my heart of gratitude towards Young Living for how they lavish on it for this work.
Yeah.
I love the comments that are already coming about getting that spouse there. Crystal, are you in a spot where you could share, and your husband too? I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but would you guys be willing to share? Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Us? Okay.
Go ahead.
Wow. Can't believe it's been 3 years since we went to Hawaii. But I wasn't, so they'd gone several years before. I know Lori had gone probably the year before or two. And they kept talking about how doable it was, and how if they could do it, we could do it. And I definitely didn't believe it at that point. So I didn't really try for it. But when the 2021 came around, just listening and watching all of my friends go, I started thinking, well, maybe I can try, but I'll probably just land among one of those freebie oils and stuff like that. So, you know, I think the key was we just started doing it, and the tracker that Young Living gives you kind of is a motivator. You're looking at it and you're like seeing that I can jump up another notch. And, you know, I thought that was really helpful to have that. So it was just day to day and just staying consistent. We were talking about it earlier today. We just didn't give up. So, you know, this is a 6-month one. I think the last one was a 4-month run. You just don't wear down, because a lot of people, the longer it goes, will get worn down. Just stay put and keep moving forward, and you start rising further, because, you know, just consistency, staying with it, right?
Yeah, we've never won anything like this before, so it's not like it was an old hat experience.
No,
So-
and it literally wasn't like anything big. We just did exactly what these things were. We enrolled people. I reactivated a lot of people. We got them on the essential rewards at the time, and there were a few that we helped rank up. And we weren't superstars. We were just consistently making sure we were doing everything that it said to do.
Right.
I feel like that everyone can actually do this. No one's a superstar. Everyone has that ability to do that. But then just being there, we've been married. We were there married 30 years, I think, when we went, or 29 or something like that. First ever vacation the two of us had alone.
Yeah.
And thankful for Young Living to give us that opportunity to do that. And like they said, it just blows me away that we actually did it, you know, and we're able to experience it. And there's not one part of the trip that was worse than any other. Like, everything was amazing.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I that's how I feel. Like, we're just normal people, and we got to do this most amazing thing. Audrey, you went on the last round too, right? In 2020, right before the world changed.
I did, yeah. And
You wanna
I
share?
did on the last one, I actually won the full year supply of Thieves in infrared as well. And that's what I was saying because I thought, oh, it'll just come, periodically. Oh no, it all came together. And my son, his eyes were like, Mom, all of this is for us. And I was like, yes, but we're not gonna drink it all today. We're gonna space it out, right? Like we're gonna do that. So that was fantastic. But the Hawaii trip was amazing. I too, when I first got into Young Living was right before Lori went to Hawaii the first time. So I saw her jump off the cliff. If you guys in the hangout, I saw her do that. I saw her have all the fun, and I was like, that's a thing. You can win a trip to Hawaii, because Hawaii was on my bucket list and been on my bucket. Like I want to live there, like legit, like it's amazing. So when I heard that you could win a trip there, I was like, yes, please. I decided when I saw her do that, then that I was going to go if they were going to have another trip. So as soon as they had another contest, I was like, I'm in. And Lori's like, just decide. And I was like, I decided, I'm in, I'm going, right? So I was in newer. So I had, which I feel like is an advantage when you're newer, because you have not tapped a lot of your market, like your warm market. And you have so many wonderful people to bless, to serve, to just have excitement with. So that was amazing. So I helped a lot of my leaders rank up as well. And that in turn helped me in the contest too. And then I've inspired them. So now this time I too, like Amanda, am so excited to help my leaders go, because when you see the farm, when you see and hang around with the Young Living people, it changes everything on your perspective. And I got to go with my son, and oh man, we still talk about the whales, and we drove around the island. This is the island that actually has the Volcano National Park. So like, it's so much to see there. Like, I wish we would have extended our stay like so many other people did, but man, it's just so fantastic to be able to go and just like they were talking, Stacey was talking about all the little gifts. Like every morning you wake up and there's things like you come back, you go to dinner and you come back and there's fun things in your room that they brought back. Like it's constant goodness. It's just all kinds of wonderful things. So decide now and you'll go. Like, and it's the consistency that Crystal was talking about is key, because it's a marathon, right? Many people peter out halfway through. If you're consistent and you're really honoring your time, you will definitely make it. So it's so exciting to have another contest to cheer people on for.
Love that. And I hope that you can hear from us. We're all, whether you've just started today, you have people who you'll help get started this month who could literally earn some of these prizes. Isn't that exciting? You don't have to have been here for a really, long time or have a ton of people in your network. You can earn prizes no matter where you are. And I would love to see that picture of that Ninja Red. So make sure that you do that. Okay, up next is Jill Kearns. And Jill and I where'd she go? Where's her? There's your face, so precious. Okay, so Jill was there's gonna be moments in this journey where you get a little discouraged, or start questioning your what you've been doing, and maybe you'll have an event and nobody will show up. I mean, these things happen in building our businesses. So I want to tell you, I think it's so important to find somebody to run with, and Jill was that person for me. So I'm super excited that she was able to get on, and she's going to share just a little bit about her and Ryan's first trip to Hawaii.
We had a great time. I will tell you a little life hack. Go ahead and book the days early if you can, and late if you can, and extend your trip. And have that in your mind too. Like, I can make this longer than what Young Living even gives us, because they're giving you free flight. So, if you can do that and figure out an Airbnb or something else to explore a little bit more, it's an awesome way to do that. So we did, and that was a blast. We went and saw all sorts of other things on those days too. So but yes, the actual trip and the being blessed by Young Living, I think one of my favorite parts was actually being at the farm, which they'll lecture you about that it's not a farm. So it is not a farm. It is a reforestation project, and you actually get to plant trees while you're there. So that was a really special thing too, that that you're part of making a difference for in the world, of making it better. Just, you know, like that's a huge, like a special moment to say, you know what, there was all these trees torn down. You learn the history of why they were torn down. And then you're a part of actually like regrowing them and what that's all about, and learning like the way that sandalwood works, and why the way we distill it is so special. And like, so it's a learning experience as well, which I'm a geek. I like to do those sorts of, you know, learning more about where our oils come from and why they work better is super amazing. So the other thing that I want to mention is when I first saw these contests, I think I won one of those little prizes in one of them and didn't know that I was working towards it, because I was just working, and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, the trip would have been better. I think had I known that I could win this so easy, maybe I would have tried a little harder. So when the Dream 1000 came around a few years ago, I was going through the things in my head of, I don't know if I can do this. It's really hard. Like all the things that nag at your brain of like, you know, can I really do this? And the thing I chose to focus on in all of that was, what do I have that I can work with? Because we all have something. And my thing that I have now is very different from what it would be then. You know, we've moved to a new area 2 years ago. I haven't really been actively building in the last 2 years. So what do I have? I have a lot of people that have fallen off. So I have a lot of people to reconnect with. That's a different thing than I had before, which was a list of names of people who had entered to win a raffle. And so I'm leaving little clues of like ways that you can go about doing this from wherever you are, whether you're brand new and just beginning, or whether, you know, you've been around the block for a while and you've had people that have, you know, come and gone. Maybe it's time to reconnect. And one of the things that I really like about the way that they put these contests together is they're for us, just the ones that are doing the work every single day. So, or ready to do the work, or just need a little boost. And they're giving us carrots or incentives to get those, you know, like those next steps. So enroll somebody, and then make sure that you tell them about loyalty rewards, because there's 3 times the perks in it for you, and there's so much more perks in it for them, right? When they start on rewards, they start to realize this stuff is really changing my life, and I feel so much better. And it's not just a bottle of Peace and Calming that I'm barely going to ever touch, you know, or a kit of oils that I'm barely going to touch. It's really magical stuff that's really going to make my life that much better. So, so they're incentivizing the things that matter, and then the other part of that is they give you the most points for helping other people achieve their ranks too. So, you know, maybe you know somebody who knows somebody who's ready to like grow, and you watch them go through rank after rank after rank and help a few other their friends grow through ranks, and that's what helps you get to some of these goals. So the other thing I would say is go for the little ones first. So like, why not knock out the first 20 this month? That may sound a little aggressive to some, and that's okay. But you know, if you set your mind to it, you can do just about anything. And if you go, well, if I get the first 20 this month, then I know I did it, you know, and I can cruise after that, or I can use that momentum to get the next 20 and the next 20 and the next 20, and then suddenly you won. So
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
what you said about momentum, because I think that's a large part of this. You start to realize, you start to make a few small accomplishments, and you realize, oh, wow, look how far I came. I can go a little bit further. And then it starts to rev your engines. You're like, okay, this is totally doable. I can do this. I'm doing it. And you get excited. Plus it's because we're all doing it together, and we're paying attention to the leaderboard and everything else. It stays at the forefront of our mind. We're not out of sight, out of mind anymore. Now we're focused, and we're thinking about it a lot. And so it keeps us on track.
I love that. And one of the things I think, if you're watching this and you've been before, or you're watching this and you've got some people underneath you, we need to cheer on every time somebody gets a point. Every time somebody gets a point. And by the end of month 1 and month 2, you're going to be kind of able to extrapolate about what the activity is going to be. And you're going to set a goal for what it would look like to be in the top 1,000 or what it looks like to be in the top 300. And so you're going to be able to kind of pull that out and kind of watch your numbers. And we can talk a little bit more about that down the road. I'm going to ask Steve and Jean. I love this picture of you guys swimming with the dolphins. Can you guys share with me a little bit about what the trip to Hawaii meant to you guys?
Well, it was amazing to me. You know, I'm not a crowds person. Okay. So when too many people get around me, I'm kind of like, okay, I got to get out of here, you know? So whenever I think about doing something like this, I think, okay, am I going to be able to do this without offending someone? Because that's what I feel like I do. But anyway, to get there was amazing because Steve and we waited too late, number one, but number two, it was the night before the end of the contest that Steve pushed and got us up there. And it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for him. He's the guy that likes to organize and strategize, and I'm not a strategy person. Just give me the work and let me do it. Okay. But it was pretty amazing. Whenever Steve goes the night before, he goes, "We're going to Hawaii." And I said, "What?" You know, because it was not in my focus at all. But everybody, it was just amazing. And I wanted to tell you that my favorite spots that we visited was not the dolphins. Let me tell you, I'm not a fish person. I did not want to feel that dolphin. But
yeah, book your excursion early.
Yeah, because we waited and that was what was left. But anyway, we did do a side trip. Amanda, you mentioned it, was the coffee farm. And I was like, I don't believe this. This was amazing, you know, to see something. And they had, the shop was just like open, no windows, no doors, you know, I mean, the windows are the shelves that they had, nothing. And they had geckos running around and you're going, but it was amazing to be even be there. Did we stop the video? The video stopped.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, and then we like Amanda said, or Audrey said, every day when we come back, there'd be something at our door, you know, something new. And it made us feel pretty precious, really. I mean, you know, it's like this company thinks they've got a lot of people working to make us feel good, you know, and it really, really helped, you know, as far as that goes. I loved the island. I loved the weather. I loved everything about what goes on in Hawaii. Did you want something? Sure. My husband's sitting here.
Yeah.
I never really talk that much. Most of the time it's him. So we enjoyed the whole trip, getting to see, I mean, we had a lot of people from the team going with us. We had almost 10 to 12 people, I think. I'm not even sure how many there were, but it was just amazing to be there with friends, even though I know I could make new friends, which I did. Amanda, I hadn't met you before, you know, things like that. So it was pretty amazing. It really was. I enjoyed it. And I know Steve did because he's a beach guy. I'm not a beach guy.
I've learned something new about you. I didn't know you didn't like the fish. So so book your when you win. So what you change your language in here. When you win, get your excursion really
excursion
quick.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, those helicopters filled up really quickly.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, now I am
And
super excited.
can we just mention the food? Oh my
Oh
God.
gosh.
Oh,
All the time.
All the
Food there.
time, tables and tables overflowing with bounty. It was just fresh seafood and coconut and pineapples and chickens with coconut sauce and just all kinds of amazing vegetables. It was just beautiful and always just gorgeous spread of food. And Also, what was the orange juice drink that they had in the morning? Everything was fresh squeezed juices, and it had like guava, mango, and orange or something. There was like this special blend.
Probably.
It was so good and so fresh. Nothing like anything I've tasted here.
Oh, and look at the luau night was fun. There are so many pieces.
yeah.
I mean, we could just sit here and maybe we could do like a swag post. If you're motivated by swag, I am. Anybody else like the free stuff? And then the food and all of these trips. Yes, they'll accommodate your allergy. Jean, there was plenty of time for those of us introverts to kind of, there was downtime and go time. And so we had everything in this trip.
And being greeted with fresh lays, not these here.
Right.
Literally made out of fresh flowers that smelled amazing. I didn't
know
even
you walk
they
around like
made
this.
And I encourage you to book your stuff. Get there 2 or 3 days early and stay 2 or 3 days later. And it's so great.
We took a little vacation afterward and it was so much fun. And you were talking about the flights earlier and that reminded me, when we came back, we took the flight back, but we had the opportunity to stop in San Diego. Yeah, down around San Diego to see my one and only aunt, who is, she's like 90 something now. So I don't know if we'll get to see her again if we get to try, but we got to stop and see her and her daughter, and it was so much fun.
And so the flights, they worked it out so we could have that.
We could stop there and then come on home.
Isn't that beautiful? Young Living will do everything they can for you for this trip. I remember, we won't go there because we don't want to run out of time before we get to how you're going to get there, right? But up next will be the most inspirational, Lori Borre.
I know she didn't say that.
Oh, I totally did.
You.
and I posted, I did post the link of Lori jumping off the cliff if y'all want to watch that later.
I love watching Lori jump off cliffs. I've been there with her when I thought she might jump off.
I mean, to say something about jumping off that was scary, you guys. That was scary. I just kept looking and thinking, I can do this. I can't. Yes, I can. No, I'm not. I'm not crazy. What are you thinking, Lori? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? Don't do this. This is how people die. You're going to bounce off the edges. You're going to belly flop. The guy in front of you just broke his elbow. Have you lost it? And I wasn't going to talk about that, but since you brought it up, there are two dogs living in your head, and it's like the angel and the devil on your shoulders, right? And the one that wins is the one that you feed. And so I'm going to encourage you to feed the dog that says, yes, you can. If other people can do this, so can you. And you've heard all of these amazing people say, I'm just a normal person. If I can do this, you can do this. And so I encourage you to listen to what every single one of these women and these guys, Steve and Trevor and all that have told you. If they can do it, you can do it. You decide you're going to do it, and then you believe, because the mountain is you. I'm amen to the extending the trip. What I'll tell you about being there is that the farm is like family. It's truly amazing. And then when you see those same people like Mr. Lee and his kids at convention, it's like you're seeing family again. And when they give you the tour of the farm, and this one of them, I hope you get him. You'll spot him from a distance. He looks like an ali'i, an old Hawaiian king, and he's standing there like this monstrosity of a person, explaining about the plants and the land and how they care for it. And there's like nothing else. It's like nothing else. So my team is a bunch of rock stars. The first time I went to Hawaii, I think there were 2 people I brought with me. The second time, I think there were 5. And the third time, I think it was Steve and Jean. There were like 10 or 12 of us. I can't remember. Every single one of them has told you, this is about deciding you can and believing you can through the steps. So here's some strategy. Look at those rules and memorize them, and then decide who you're going to enroll. And I would encourage you to write it out, like draw a picture for yourself of what happens if. You're going to play a lot of what happens if games. And what happens if I get so-and-so inspired? And what happens if they go to star? And what happens if then somebody under them goes to star? And and map it out, right? Map it out so that you can see a way forward where you're actually going to make this happen, because every day you've got to wake up and decide and believe. This is a marathon and a sprint. And and I'm talking about if your goal is to get to the top of this, if your goal is to get those oils, every single person can get those oils. In fact, every person could be at the top of this. It's just that most people won't. And the difference is going to be between your ears. So map it out. Who do I know that I want to enroll right now? You make all of your list of that. And then ask yourself, how do I typically enroll? Am I a social media enroller? That's awesome. Do more. Am I a vendor table enroller? That's awesome. Go get online and find all the vendor booths in the area and get yourself signed up for them. Also, I want you to think in terms of whatever it takes. And by that, I mean, what's it going to take to get this person to enroll and get on Essential Rewards? And if if I'm earning $75, I have money to play with up to and including whatever the policy and procedure says that I'm allowed to do. But don't be afraid to do that. Like you're going to leave this on the mat. You're not going to leave any stone unturned. You're not going to let somebody say, well, let me think about it and blah, blah, blah. This is where you're motivating yourself to motivate everybody else. If you're an enroller because you get people in classes, then you're going to start scheduling classes. I remember when I was really running, because I'm an in-person enroller, I was sometimes doing 3, 4, 5 classes a week. Now, don't get scared. Don't be like, well, I can't do that, so I'm just not going to quit. Hello, yo. It's all between here and here. Get yourself on the board and then convince yourself that you can do more of whatever it is that you're doing, because you don't want to be number whatever it was, 301 at the end of the day. You don't want to be that. Yeah, I know. I'd rather be number 620 than number 300.
And to be fair, you don't want to be 300 because some of those member moves for rank placement may come in after the end of the month.
Exactly.
Okay. So you're kind of predicting in your head. And I would tell you a number of those people who are actively pushing for that spot are going to be doing everything they can with those member moves. So
Yep.
be safe. It's like at the end of the month, if you're running for silver, you don't want your OGV to be 10,000. You don't, somebody's card's you want your OGV to be safe and sound. Okay. Same thing here. You're not running for spot 300. You're not running for spot 600. You're not even running for spot 1,000 because you could get bumped very easy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
Sorry, right back to you.
No, amen, Amanda. Thank you for saying that. And you also want to have a plan. Like as you're watching these numbers and you want to watch the numbers and you're watching at the end, if you're number 270, that's not safe. Like you want to be thinking, which of my personal enrollments can I help rank up this month? And if that means that you are calling up one of your personal enrollments and saying, I've got swag sitting in my closet that needs to belong to somebody, somebody in your organization who hasn't placed an order in a while, and maybe they would love some XYZ in order to go ahead and hop on Essential Rewards for the first time. I am willing to invest in you to do that. Let's do it. So you're going to invest. That's what I mean. Count the cost. This will cost you something to get there. You're not going to lose money, but you might just think of it in terms of, yes, I'm investing this in Hawaii when I'm doing that. So you want to have your plans so that you can help people towards the end. Like it's time to rank people up. It's time. And the easiest way to do that is to flip stars, because you get the same number of points for flipping a star as you do for flipping to diamond. So which do you think is easier, right? And you want to flip stars upon stars. You just sit down, map it out, decide how you're going to do it. And then what's the worst that happens? You end up with a whole bunch of Ningxia Red for a year. Okay. So those are my thoughts. Every single one of you can do this. I've been honored. I've been so honored to watch the people in my team do this, to do hard things, to conquer themselves, to push themselves further than they thought they could. And I just love sharing for other people. It's like having a new baby in the house. You love living life through the new baby and watching all of their new experiences. It's like that, watching your people go to Hawaii and experience it for themselves. And there's nothing like it. So thank you for letting me talk.
Well, and don't unmute, because we're gonna help them get to this planning spot. So we
Okay.
are aiming to wrap up the recording in just a little bit, but we don't have to run out the door after the recording. So we're here to make sure that you get that vision for what your plan is gonna look like. And your upline is invested in making sure that you are successful in your goals. I think that some of this here is going to be what you've heard, that deliberate effort, starting now, knowing that what you've already done this month even already counts. I love that part, because we have people right now who are halfway to their 20 points or farther sitting in this call today. And that is incredibly meaningful, to get that kind of momentum. Even if you are accidentally falling into it, these people had no idea that they were earning points when they've been doing the actions of builders all month long. And yet that extra deliberate effort that we're going to make now to get to this vision, that's my favorite part. You will have to be deliberate to hit Hawaii, to hit Ninja. You might be able to trickle your way into Thieves. I think it'll be kind of hard because people are so excited. I mean, how many of us are going to be there, right? So we're gonna be pushing together with this. All right, that consistent action, we're going to be doing it daily. We're going to give you right now in the chat box. I'm going to be posting. There is a planner. Oops, sorry, I had a different message there. So I'm gonna we have a Kona Google Drive, and inside that Google Drive is a planner where you're going to be looking at doing it daily. What are you doing weekly? What are you doing monthly? And lastly, and Lori just really already honed in on this, who are you going to be doing it with? What is this effort that you're going to be making? And it is so much easier if you can get every single person who shares on your team to get a vision of free oils. It's going to help you so much towards your goals, but it's going to help them and their families for years to come when they get to use these precious bottles. So Stacy, did you want to add in something there?
Yeah, anything. One of the things we're talking about consistency, one of the benefits of doing this is going to be the fact that you are changing your habits, changing your daily habits. And so the results, yes, you're trying to win, but at the same, and you're trying to earn, you're trying to get there to a goal. But in the process, you are changing your brain habits, you're changing your routine, and you're making that part of your everyday life. So by the time you get to the end of this, it's just going to come natural, and it's going to be part of what you're rebooting your business and rebooting your mindset in a lot of ways. And so the best part at the end of this aren't the prizes, aren't the trip, although that's amazing and that's wonderful. The best part is the fact that you're going to look back and you've grown your business. And you've created habits that are going to continue to grow your business. And I feel like that's the biggest plus with this whole thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. And you will hit ranks along the way, and you will help people hit ranks along the way. And it's just and those are things that will last years beyond photographs and memories that show up in your Facebook feed or Instagram in your memory reels, right?
Yes, and the camaraderie that happens with it too as you build relationships.
That is the best part. All right. So there is no way. I loved, Lori, if you share online, but do it more. I remember when we were pushing for silver, somebody's like, well, how did you build online? Well, yes. And in person. And if you let me put an oil on you at the grocery store, I will. And if you are at a vendor show, I will. If you're at a farmer's market, I will. You know what I mean? Like if you want to meet your goals, whether that's a rank or a financial goal or a trip goal or an oil goal, you can do it in whichever way you choose. And so if you don't know how to share, we have some great tools we're going to talk about here next that will help you along the way, because it's never been easier. So if you've been maybe holding back, or you've been in a different season for a bit, but this excites you or energizes you, we want you to have a few extra tools awareness. The first one is up there on that upper left, that relaxed enrollment requirements. Some of you maybe haven't enrolled somebody since they were required to do a social security number, and that's okay. We welcome you back, right? So some of you may not know that you do not need to have a starter kit anymore. We now use the word starter bundles. and we can customize your bundles for them. Now, our bundles are still the best value, and they help you get the starter bundle bonus, but they don't need to. So you can customize these packages for people. You now have a share YL in your right from your shop, like right underneath your shopping cart. You can click a button that you can link any product from Young Living, and up there on the upper right you can make a wish list for these people. If you we put one in the Google Drive. We put a video on how to make a wish list, but I've got to tell you, your upline will help you if you want to learn how to make a wish list or referral links for anything. Again, US. This is a US market that has those. Canada does not have them yet. I want to talk about some things that we've been doing, tools that we're going to mention here. First off, Lori, can you link your sharing group over in the comments? Lori's been helping people, and she's got a multitude of videos on how to do that. I also want to shout out, is she here?
Come in.
Okay, we've been doing a really, really great group about, go ahead, Stacy, what?
No, I was actually trying to see who wasn't muted, but one thing I did, you brought up the social security number. That was a big hurdle. When they told us at the New Year kickoff, when they did away with that requirement on the social security number, enrollments went up 34%. So that was really huge. And so it is so much easier now to enroll. That's a big part of this. We have links now. We have all these extra perks. It's easier than ever.
It is easier than ever, and it's easier. I love what they said about it. They're like, it was like you were dating somebody, but you asked to get married right up. Let's get your social security number. Like you're getting like, anyway, I want to mention,
you know what? We won this with requiring a social security number.
You did. Rochelle's group, if you are interested in learning more about sharing on social media, that's who I was looking for in the names. I don't see her here. We're going to link her group. It's been posted multiple times. Stacy and I and Aaron Rogers are using Aaron Rogers' book, right here, the new brand partner guide. The book lays through. Julie and Lori have also gotten a look at it. Exactly, like if you're getting started in sharing, just a really great tool. And there'll be videos on this over the course of this month. So if you feel like you need to hop back into something, we've got the Brand Partner Academy, $125 for a year, so about $10 a month. You can do the first section of that for $9. She does weekly calls on both getting the brain right and also the activity. And I think one of the most important, and then the Life Steps app down there on the bottom left, we've got tools that are going to make this easy. I'm going to suggest you have a personal phone conversation with your upline and have a conversation about, I would like to know where I'm at, what makes the most sense for me. Because there's more tools. Boy, back when many of us started building, we didn't have any tools. And now we have so many tools. And all of these tools are being used successfully by people in our team. So I want to encourage you to have that personal conversation. Which tool should I use to get to my goals, right? There is a Kona challenge tracker. I mentioned it once already over in the Google Drive. And also, before we go, and we'll stop the recording here, I want you to know, if you haven't been maybe quite as active just through these last couple of months, just in the starting November 1st, Young Living took us from a 50% commission the first month on their PV, or from a 25% commission the first month on PV to a 50% commission first month on PV here in the United States. And I feel like some of you, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, rolled it all into the new year, that may have been missed by you. So not only can you work for these amazing prizes across the board, but you can also some very generous cash rewards for sharing. Silverbound is still in effect. That can play a role in it. There are so many opportunities here for you to do all of this package. Lori, your words were so appropriate. Every single one of us. And the number one thing that's going to get in our way is right up here. right? The belief system. So there are tools here for Jean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a document over to the Google Drive as soon as I'm done with a list of all of the resources. That would have been very good and helpful to get started. So make sure you do that. But if you need a video, maybe you don't know quite, we haven't been quite as involved in the last 3, 6 months, 9 months. Maybe we've got people with new babies on here. We've got people who've moved states or had big unfortunate things happen in their lives. That's okay. We can help get you caught up, and you will not be slowed down in this competition. All right. You can start today and join us in Hawaii. I love Jill's point. Use your oils, get your abundance on, wear it, share it, put oils on people, change lives. Hawaii is life-changing. It really is. Just seeing the world through Young Living is just such a blessing. So with a heart full of gratitude, and exactly at the 1 hour mark, our goal, I think last night, Stacy was like, can we do it in an hour? We are going to do this in an hour. So we're going to go ahead and stop the recording. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on this journey with us. We are better for knowing you. Thanks for coming. We're not going to go away. If you want to talk a little bit more after the recording, you can hop out as needed. But if you want to make some plans or have some questions, we're going to take them right now. Stacy, can you stop the recording?
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Can I
Bye, y'all.
record?